Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Driscoll Decoded. My name is Angela, your host. As you can see here, we are off-site. We are on location. We're not where we usually are, and I'm so excited to be here. I wonder if anyone recognizes where we're at. If you do, leave a comment below before I say it. In 3, 2, 1. So we're actually here at Driscoll Children's Hospital in the Sloan building. I'm so excited to bring into the pod my friend, our clinical dietitian for Driscoll Children's Hospital, Miss Tessa Martin. Welcome.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm glad you're here. We have a lot to impact on. So just tell me real quick, what is your role here at the hospital?
Yeah. Okay. So I am one of many clinical dietitians here. My specialty, as far as it goes in our hospital, so my primary job role is for diabetes and endocrinology. So childhood nutrition is one of my big passions, and it's something that I do on a daily basis, which is super fun because I love talking about this, and the more people we can spread this information to, the better everybody is. So
yeah, of course. I remember first meeting you on another video project that we did. I instantly was like, okay, this is my chance. Like, I have so many questions about nutrition, about my child and her nutrition. And so I'm so happy to bring you here and we could just keep talking more about it to everyone else. So, okay.
Food's fun to talk about, always.
See, okay, I'm glad because usually like the initial thought for like nutrition is like, oh, like I know. Like people like it's kind of, I don't know why. But I feel like maybe it's because no one likes to really talk about it because we all like kind of like make those bad decisions.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't bring it to light kind of thing. Right. So the ideal nutrition, let's break it down here because it's summertime. The families with children, it's kind of hard to stick to a schedule.
Right.
Compared to like school year where it's like, okay, breakfast, you're getting this, lunch, I know you're having this, I'm packing it for you, and then dinner, we're having that. Summer is more free time and we can do whatever we want. We can snack on whatever we want.
Yeah.
For children, let's say just school age children, that could range from like elementary to high school. What is the ideal nutrition that like kids should be taking in?
Yeah. I think obviously I'm a dietitian, so I do a lot with nutrition. But even more, not more important than nutrition, I would say, but something we need to address first is sleep habits.
Mm-hmm.
So I know it's the summer. A lot of teenagers and older kids like to sleep in.
Yeah.
But this is negative. This is not good because we start our day later. We start eating in our day later.
Okay.
That full digestion needs to happen over a certain period of time,
Yeah.
right? And then it causes us to stay up later. And then this like vicious cycle starts happening over the summertime. And obviously nutrition is important, but nutrition also involves timing. We need to eat breakfast, we need to eat lunch, we need to eat dinner. And like that's the minimum. If we get nothing else in, we need to get those 3 things. So addressing summer nutrition, I would very much encourage parents to not let their kids sleep in, or if they do, maybe only on special occasions. We need to get up to eat something so that way we're not nighttime snacking and developing very poor habits of before bed snacking or late night video gaming where you're in front of a screen and just snacking. So I think that sleep habits and just habits in general need to be addressed first.
I like that. I've never heard of that actually. Yeah, I've never heard of that. So that makes sense. Like we're trying whenever we wake up. And usually like for me, I remember waking up in the summer, it was like 11 maybe.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, it takes like an hour for me to actually wake up.
Right.
So I'm having like breakfast or like, snack and then snacking throughout the night too.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Good one.
Yeah. So we need to reverse that, especially as we go into the school year, because guess what? Now kids are forced to wake up at 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And we have to prioritize breakfast during that time. Yeah. I mean, I get it. If you don't want to necessarily put something on your stomach in the first hour of waking up, that's okay. You can wait an hour. That's no problem. But we need to start our day off with good nutrition because that is going to set the tone for the rest of the day. That and nutrition, obviously, it feeds your body. Like this whole purpose, right? Like your body is getting fed. Well, our brain needs to wake up too. How do we feed our brain? Eat something. Like we just have to eat something in order to allow that awakeness, alertness. And that's very important, especially like if we're going into the school year. You want your kids to do well. You want them to get good grades, right? Well, school starts early. How much of school is done before noon? that our brains might not be awake for because we didn't get the nutrition we needed to help our brains wake up.
Yeah.
And now, so as you can see, it tends to like tumble into a vicious cycle. You have to reverse it. You got to reverse it, and it arguably starts in the summer. You can't allow those bad habits to be built. So
that is one tip that's one tip I am definitely living with. Sleep patterns is definitely first. And then, when it comes to like, how do you like explain that really to a teenager, or let's bring it back here. Like, how do you explain that to a 4-year-old who was so used to this routine, and then like a mom with, whether that's her only child or she has 3 other children, like how do you explain that to a young toddler of, we still need to get up early and you still need to eat what you
it begins to be very interesting because toddlers' nutrition, maybe by 10, 12, once we get into the teenage years, kids take on their own nutrition. They make their own decisions. They can start getting their own things, especially if they have allowance. Now it's their choice to buy what they want. Sure, we need to educate the kid if they're old enough to make their own decisions. But for your 4-year-olds, for your 3-year-olds, mom, it's your decision. Your decision impacts your child. So you, not even like explaining them or when it comes to that age range, I can explain it to the kid, right? But their level of understanding is going to be very, very low.
Yeah.
So my primary objective is to explain it to mom. Because mom, I need you to get this. I need you to understand this. I need you to understand that what you allow now is going to be continued to be allowed. What you discipline now will continue to be disciplined. The habits you create now will carry with this kid, right? Kids are very moldable. And you have kids. I don't. But you do, so I'm sure that you can see how moldable kids are.
Yes, agreed. And very strong-headed as well. But yeah, you know what? Just sticking to those and like being the model behavior for your children, it's a big thing. And like it all stems from one thing, like the parent, and then going into like sleep patterns, like what you said. So say we're grocery shopping. What is the top 5 things you want to get first when you go grocery shopping?
That's good. It's elementary, but I'm going to refer back to the little My Plate depiction. It's myplate.gov.
It's
everybody can access
picture right here.
Yeah, there you go. So the My Plate, I think it's ironic that you said 5 things because there's 5 major food groups. We need our fruits and vegetables.
There you go.
Always first. For the dietary guidelines of Americans, we need 5 servings of fruits and vegetables, no matter what age you are. 1 serving is about half of a cup, so it's pretty easy to calculate. Okay, so 2.5 cups of fruits and vegetables.
Pause. So you said half a cup, right?
Is 1 serving.
Okay. I know because I just had a visit with my daughter's pediatrician. She said their serving size is always like the fist of it. Does that like always range to actually like half a cup, or like how does that measure out too?
So you have to remember the hand model is based off of like an adult hand.
Yeah.
So a kiddo's hand's going to be a little bit smaller. Maybe that's why they had them put the fist in. But for an adult's hand, it's about 1 hand cupped like this.
Gotcha.
So they might have just been taking like a different approach because she's a kiddo.
Gotcha.
But this is about half of a cup. Like if you were to go measure flour and bake some bread, like that half of a cup, that ends up being about that much.
Okay, got it. Noted. Sorry, keep going.
Keep going. Fruits and vegetables, very important. You can't cash all 5 servings in on fruits. I know a lot of kids would because they taste sweeter, but our vegetables are very important. And this is another thing. Speaking to that mom of the 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-olds, mom, if your kiddos don't see you eating vegetables, they're not going to want to eat vegetables. So it is on you, number 1, to discipline. Number 2, obviously what we all said before, but it is on you to, number 3, display that enjoyment and that habit of, oh, no, we prioritize vegetables. We eat those every day. If you don't start that early, they won't pick up on it in their teenage years.
Gotcha.
And then we're left with bad habits.
Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that we have to deal with in this clinic, which is like the obesity, the diabetes, pre-diabetes, and that's not fun.
Yeah.
So start those habits early.
Fruits, vegetables.
Yep. Fruits, vegetables. The 3rd one is grains. So we want to prioritize our whole grains.
Okay.
So what happens when you process, we'll pick on wheat. Wheat's kind of a base grain. If you eat bread, chances are it's probably made with wheat. The kernel of the wheat is like this. Refined grains are stripping that kernel away, that protective layer. It's called a bran.
Yeah.
They're stripping it away, and then there's a little germ. If you've ever heard of like germination, that's where like the flower grows out of, or the plant will grow out of that little germ. They strip that away. So a refined grain, they're actually like pre-digested, kind of like pre-digested food, which is kind of gross if you think.
Yeah.
So that's a refined grain. So we want whole grains because they put that little germ back into it. They put that bran layer back into the product you're eating, which increases fiber, increases vitamins, minerals, all that kind of stuff. So we prioritize the whole grains or the complex carbohydrates. So complex carbohydrate would be like sweet potato versus white potato. Sweet potato is obviously a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a grain. It's a vegetable.
Yeah.
Starchy vegetable. But that's what we prioritize in that grains category. Protein is next. Protein's very important. Got to have our protein, especially first thing in the morning for kids. I would advocate that. We need to make a habit of prioritizing proteins first thing in the morning.
Okay.
Whatever it is. Cheese stick. I got on a kick for a while where I was eating like 2 cheese sticks for breakfast. Oh, they're so good.
Yeah,
so good.
they are.
Cheese sticks.
Funny story. I ate too many when I was little.
Oh, no.
One day. And I don't know. I just remember like having easy access to the fridge, and I said, "I want a cheese stick." Yeah. I broke out in hives. I was like, "I don't ever want cheese sticks again." I legit didn't start eating the cheese sticks until my daughter started eating cheese sticks.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious.
So yeah,
we all got that one childhood food that like scarred us when we were young, and you're like, nope. Still, as an adult, I just like
yes. Okay, so cheese sticks, nice.
Sticks are your no. I love them. But they do have a lot of protein in them.
Yeah,
that's really good. Eggs count. You can do any sausage, bacon, meat, chicken, any of that stuff. You can prioritize that protein, or even like protein powders.
Yeah. So what do you think? So protein. What do you think about those shakes that I forgot what brand they're called, but like just those shakes that for like toddlers who are not eating as much protein. What do you think about those?
Yeah. I have nothing against shakes, any protein shakes. I think the ones you're referring to are Pediasure.
There you go.
They're available through WIC. You can get them at Sam's Club. They come in bulk. I don't think there's anything bad with them.
Okay.
I always encourage, no matter what we're getting, if kiddo is eating a holistic diet, we don't have to go to the Pediasures, and they tend to be a little bit expensive. So if you're looking to save some money, you don't have to prioritize those Pediasures. Any adult protein shake is going to be fine. Even for like kiddos, because again, you're eating all of the other food groups. I would prioritize that Pediasure would be a kid who's only going to take the Pediasure. Then get the age appropriate regimen. But talk to your dietitian before that point in time, because that's a whole different realm. We're talking about like normal kids who can eat no problem. If we go to the nutrition facts label, we are prioritizing the thing highest in protein, which my nutrition facts label. Okay, protein's at the bottom. If we're going through protein shakes or even protein bars, something for breakfast, something quick. I mean, the biggest complaint I get is like, well, I don't eat breakfast because I'm tired and I don't have any time and I want to sleep. Yeah. Okay, fine. Put a protein bar in your backpack. Eat it during first period. Like, that's fine. Yeah. Eat it on the way to school. You have a drive, right? Yeah. Or you have to walk. We're looking for higher proteins, lower added sugars, which is the second to last line. We want to reduce those added sugars. So whatever protein shake, protein supplement, protein powder, protein this, protein that. It's fine. A priority.
Hey, you gave me some ideas because my girl, which we'll go into later, she is picky, and I thought I was doing everything right like the first year for life. Yeah. But like I said, we'll get into that later. With breakfast. Yeah. So like you just said, like some people don't want to. They're either like too tired or they're too busy. I know I was that kid at one time where I was just like, oh, I don't eat breakfast. Thinking I was so cool.
Everybody else is doing it. I want to do it too.
So what do you say like to those families or even like to those children, the ones that just don't want to eat breakfast?
I say habits are built, not given.
Okay.
Habits take time to create. Like I always say, okay, if I was to go to the gym every single day and do 10 bicep curls, right? I would eventually have to go up and weight, and I would get really good at it, and I would enjoy it, and it would be fun to me. That's habits. Breakfast is the same way. If I force myself, which it is a good habit to build, if I, in my brain, say, nope, brain over body, I'm going to prioritize this thing in my life because I know it's better for me, then eventually that habit will be built, and I will require that. My body will require that. Habits are food habits are like any other habit. Now for the younger ones, that's pretty easy to explain to a kid who's a teenager, right? You know, like you can reason with them by that point. The younger ones, that gets to be a little bit more difficult. Where I usually recommend, like, okay, we'll compromise. If you're not going to eat something for breakfast, why don't we try drinking something for breakfast? Take a little sip, something in a small cup, something that's not overwhelming. It's a lot easier to drink something.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. You drink cough syrup too, right? Yeah. Like, here's your little thing. Just drink this one little thing. You know, like, it's medicine. It's medicine. I mean, food is medicine. It's meant to be medicine. So, just drink this one little thing. Yeah. Whatever you have to do. Here, you just got to drink this. Yeah. You just got to drink this, and then we build on that.
Gotcha.
There's my recommendation, even for or those teenagers wanting to be defiant, be cool and not eat breakfast.
I wish I never said that. No, but that's true. It's true, because I don't know what was going on, but yeah.
That's okay. The habits are built.
Nice. Okay, so we mentioned our fruits and vegetables, veggies. Can't consume more fruits if we don't want to eat vegetables.
True.
Gotta even it out. Whole grains. I'm so glad you explained that, because now I understand. Instead of being told like, oh, you need whole grains, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know, but why? Yeah. So that makes much more sense now. Protein. In any kind of way. I like that.
And then the last one's dairy.
Which
we kind of touched on, and dairy is arguably dairy is also a protein, so I usually don't touch on dairy.
Oh, okay.
I will say though, your cow's milk is the gold standard for milk. Soy milk is second best. Soy milk is equivalent in protein, calcium, phosphorus, all the things. Almond milk, cashew milk, coconut milk, all of those other alternative milks do not count as dairy because they are not equivalent in protein. Not saying that you can't drink alternative milks, but if you can't take a glass of almond milk and say that it's a good protein breakfast because there's like 1 gram per serving of protein, versus cow's milk's going to have 8 grams per serving.
Gotcha.
And so will soy milk.
So here I am thinking in my Starbucks order that I might sub please for an oat milk. Is that healthy? Yeah.
I mean, okay, so healthy in its realm.
Yeah.
Healthy, I have a beef with this word.
Okay.
I have a beef with this word because it's oftentimes abused.
Food pun? No, I'm just kidding.
A beef. Oh my gosh, all the food puns, please. Healthy depends on what I am comparing it to.
Okay.
Right? So if I've got a Snickers bar and a Kit Kat bar, which one's healthier, right? So healthy is relative. Healthy is very relative depending on what I compare it to. And I hate calling foods unhealthy. We can make all foods work for us.
Okay.
So here's my compromise. If we are working towards the Kit Kat and the Snickers bar, well, Snickers bar is probably going to have a little bit more protein in it because it's got peanuts in it, and peanuts are a good source of protein, versus the Kit Kat doesn't.
Okay.
So, but I mean, check your Got it. But if we're talking oat milk and I'm at Starbucks, okay, I don't mind. You want your oat milk? That's fine. My more concern for your Starbucks order would be the added sugar in it. Okay, we can compromise, do like a sugar-free syrup or something like that. That's fine. But what protein am I getting with the Starbucks order?
Yeah.
Let's say you're going for breakfast and you do one of the breakfast sandwiches that has egg in it, bacon, or like the little egg bites. Yeah, go for it. Get your oat milk. That's fine. But if that drink is all you're having for breakfast, which, I mean, hey, people do that. That's okay. Let's do a cow's milk. Or at least a soy milk, because I'm getting that protein in it. So health is always relative.
I love our sessions. I learn more every day. Man, we could stay here all day and just talk about it. I love it.
Nutrition.
I could tell your passion for it. I'm like, tell me more, please. I'll just have a Tessa in my pocket for later.
I love it. These questions. It's good.
I love this because, like I said, I learned so much from you. And another thing that's kind of like in today's day and age is like TikTok.
Yep.
It's whether it's trending or and then so many people are hopping on and you're like, oh, that sounds kind of be true or whatever.
Right.
So what did you say earlier about how TikTok can use a lot of misinformation?
Sure. So nutrition, and this is just being a dietitian. Nutrition, I feel like, is one of the areas of the most misinformation because everybody wants to be an expert, and everybody has experiences, and everybody, you know, went on this journey, and I'm all for that. Yeah, absolutely. But we have to be research based at the end of the day. Okay. So we got the question earlier about like goat's milk versus cow's milk. If you look at like the science, they're very, very similar. So I'm not going to treat a cow's milk allergy with goat's milk because the protein is very, very similar. Maybe some kids it'll work, maybe not. That's something you have to talk to your dietitian about. But there's so much misinformation out there. I would recommend, okay, first of all, like TikTok, Instagram, all those things. You have to be careful what kids hear because it can cause eating disorders. And I've had many patients who have developed eating disorders because of what they saw on media. So everything has to be put in check. Everything does. Wow. No matter what. Number 2, check the credentials of the person saying it. Check if they have any research. Don't just listen to them saying it. Or like even me, like I'm over here like throwing all this information. Check my credentials. Check what I'm saying. See if the dietary guidelines, look at it yourself. Like that information is available to everybody. You do not have to take my word for it. You do not have to take that TikToker, that guru's word for it. Check it yourself. Check the nutrition facts label. Check what they're citing. Read the research. Like it's usually available for you. There's like platforms everywhere that you can do these things. So don't just take somebody's word for it. You have to check why they're saying what they're saying, right? And if there is research behind it.
Yeah, for sure. Wow. Everything, the ideal nutrition, everything that we would need to live a healthy life. So what are some food items that we need to avoid?
Sure. So again, just like my beef with the word healthy, I don't like telling people to avoid foods. Because, and here's the mindset behind it, and I've had patients, kids, with disorders like this. Well, if I eat a bad food, like if I label this food bad, and I eat that bad food, am I bad? Like, am I a bad person? And that can lead to disordered patterns. So we avoid that. We avoid the word avoid. So I'm probably never going to tell somebody to avoid any type of food, minus like regular sugar sodas because they're bad for you. They will. They're bad. Anyway, but soda in itself is not bad. I'm not going to call it a bad food. The only thing I'm going to tell you to avoid is nutrition facts level, those added sugars. We just want to avoid excessive added sugars. A good rule of thumb would be kind of the rule of 5. So if it has 5 or less grams of added sugar per serving size is up here, then it's okay. Anything above that 5 is going to be something that, okay, you can probably find a different option. We're not looking for the fancier brands. We're not looking to buy the fancy stuff. Oftentimes I just buy off-brand because I know what I'm looking for, and the nutrition facts are going to tell me what I need, and I just avoid those excessive added sugars.
Gotcha. So you said, so the ideal, at least for this, the ideal would be less than 40 because 8 times 5 is 40. So less than 40 added sugar.
So, yeah. That's a really good question. So the serving size, this serving size is 2/3 cup.
I'm reading it backwards.
Yeah, it helps when you read it the right way. That's very helpful.
So this one.
So the serving size for this item is 2/3 of a cup. Be it one bar, be it half of a cup, be it one package. The serving size is always different. This nutrition is in this serving size. This particular item has 10 grams of added sugar per 2/3 of a cup. If it's a cereal, let's pretend it's a cereal. I could probably find another cereal that had less than 10 grams of added sugar. It probably wouldn't be hard to find. Yeah. Now, you're going to have to avoid looking at the front of the box. Yeah. Because marketing is, you have to remember, a marketing team, their job, the way they make money is to get your brain to get their products. So ignore the front of it, flip to the back, check the nutrition facts level. Chances are you can find something probably a cheaper price for less added sugar, and it's going to be a better item for your family.
Oh, wow.
Fit your nutrition a little bit better.
Perfect. Okay. So 5 times less than the serving size.
Yeah, and that's just the rule of 5. 5 grams. 5 grams is a good source of something. We don't want a good source of added sugar. We want lower added sugars, but we do want more protein. So, rule of thumb, look for at least 5 grams of protein per serving. There's some granola bars that have 7 grams, 8 grams, something like that. That'd still be a better choice than not. Yeah. And then reducing those added sugars. And I'm not saying you're going to get 5 grams every single time, but if you have the 2 options, check the nutrition facts, compare them, and now you have just been empowered to make the best choice for your family, for
Yes.
you. And you can save on the budget too, because now you know what you're.
I love that. Like, even though, like I said, like, the first time I met you, you taught me all that. Even though grocery shopping does take a little bit while now, I do feel more empowered and I feel more at ease with the choices that I'm making for my family, especially for my little one.
Sure. So good.
So I really do appreciate that. So I like how you also said you don't like to stay a boy, because I mean, I didn't know that until you just said it, that it could lead to disorders.
Yeah.
And mentally it could take a toll on us. Yeah. So I'm really glad you expressed that.
Yeah.
So, of course, like the sodas, yes. Stay away.
Well, and this is an interesting thing to touch on too. A healthy relation. Yeah, we want healthy food, obviously. Yeah. Like, please choose healthy food. But in some cases, a healthy relationship with food is healthier than choosing healthy food. So, and that's, again, touching on disordered eating, which every child ever, if you have a child, they're at risk of disordered eating patterns. So causing, or at least building those habits to have a healthy relationship with food. You're not a bad person if you choose a bad thing. So wait, you have a soda. That's okay. That's okay. Where's your protein? Let's make this work for us. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like, okay, you're out to dinner. What choice are you going to choose? Yeah. Your 4-year-old, 5-year-old, whatever it is. Okay, where's the protein in it? Yeah. Where are you getting your protein? Yeah. Are you choosing fruit instead of, like, you can always celebrate those wins. We never want to use food as a battering ram to beat kids down. Right? Food should be fun. It should be exciting. We should want this good relationship with food. If we have a bad relationship with food, it causes food anxiety. And now we start hiding food in our room and overeating and over consuming when mom isn't watching, because mom's going to say, you can't have that food. Take it away. Put it back. Right? Well, why is it in the house in the first place?
So, dang.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Wow. I can't wait to get home. I'm gonna restructure everything. No, so with pickiness, I know, oh man. So with my daughter, whenever the doctor said we could start doing solids, we introduced her to so much, Yeah. And it was our first child, so it was like a learning. We're all learning with her. Yeah. And now she is the most picky eater. And I'm just so sad, because I thought we were doing everything right. Right. And then it's literally like all of a sudden it just stopped. Yeah. Like she just it just, turned off. And I'm hearing like, oh, well, it's just a phase. It's just everything. I'm like, that's great. But like, I don't know. I'm such an overthinker already. So I'm like, I don't know how this is going to affect her when she's 5 years old, when she's 6. And now she's like, she doesn't eat school lunch, what they serve. She'll eat what we give her. Sure. And then now, like, recapping on like this, her first year in school, that she was eating less and less of what we were giving her. So it could have been like overdrawn out. Sure. Well, what's your like perception on that of like pickiness from like the beginning, or like, tell me what you think.
Yeah. It is common. Very common. Kids are picky, and it's also very common for first-time parents to get very enthusiastic about like their child's nutrition. Yeah. Remember, we're still building that healthy relationship with food, and touching on like, oh, she's eating less at school. That might not be the food's fault. Like, we tend to blame the food first, but you have to remember, food is more than just the food on the plate. Food is the conversation she's having with her peers, the way her teacher is talking to her about this. Is there any shame in bringing her lunchbox? Is there any glory? Like, everybody loves that she brings her lunchbox. Like, what are the emotions attached to food? Food in itself is often not the primary issue. Like, what's on the plate sometimes is not the real issue. Sometimes it's the conversation around food, because food just brings so many different things. So all of those things would need to be addressed, and it's really hard because you're not there with her, and it's not like you can see. And even if you were with her, she would act different if you were there versus if she was there with her friends. And so that's one thing that you can probably rest a little bit easier, knowing that it might not be the food you're packing them. It might just be something that's happening external to that. Number 2, it's so common for kids to get picky, like it just is. And it's easy for moms to get discouraged about that too. But my encouragement to any of those moms, and to you, keep trying. Keep trying. Keep trying. The only way we break down the walls to pickiness or like these aversions, and I think it's kind of a trend where everybody's talking about like, oh, sensory stuff. Oh, well, they're aversive to this texture. Oh, well, they're aversive to this thing.
I got it in my head.
Yeah. And my, I guess, encouragement to that would be don't let the kid have that place. Like, don't let the kid have that, well, I'm aversive to this, so I can't eat it. No, we can try it. We can try it. It's okay to try it. And that's the goal. When it comes to overcoming pickiness, we have to let the kids' excuses they have against these foods, they kind of have to be plowed over. They have to be plowed over. We can't give them any more reason to tell you why they can't have this food. No, you can try it. You can try it. I like the rule of two bites. I call it the food game. We're going to take 2 bites of this new food. And new food being whatever we need to. This is how we combat pickiness. We got to take 2 bites and you got to give me 2 reasons why you either like it or dislike it. Okay. We're going to keep this and we're going to stay here until you take 2 bites and you give me 2 reasons why. You can't just have this reaction to the food. Oh, well, it's green. I can't eat it. No, you can try it. You can try it. Take 2 bites. Give me 2 reasons. They can be tiny bites. We'll take it. Anything's a win. Tiny little bite. Give me a reason why. And that reason why begins to break down these barriers against just trying new things. And I think that like food is one thing that you can apply this to, but it can be applied to kind of any area. Like, well, I don't want to do that thing. Well, we can try. We can try. And not giving into letting the kid say, well, no, I can't because of this. Oh, right. Yeah, no, you can't because of that. No. We don't give into that reasoning. We have to combat that. And oftentimes that pickiness, whatever the root of it is, can be combated. We just break down those walls. No, try it. Give me a reason why. And the other thing, because usually pickiness comes in the form of vegetables. Nobody for some reason, vegetables get so much hate. Vegetables are amazing.
They really are.
They are. I love them. But usually it's in the form of vegetables. But I've had kids who are very picky toward like protein foods as well. Like they just want to eat chicken. They want to eat meat. We don't give into that. We keep offering it. We keep trying it. And the rule is you got to try the thing 3 times. I always say you don't meet a person and judge them first, like by your first interaction. You have to continue talking to them. Same thing with foods. So if it's broccoli that we're talking about, you have to try that broccoli, get to meet that broccoli 3 different ways. So maybe the first time we try it, we're going to do raw dipped in ranch. Kid takes 2 bites, gives 2 reasons why, whatever. Maybe it was too crunchy and it tasted bad. Okay, that's fine. Those are reasons. Congratulations. Good job. If you don't like it, you never have to try that broccoli that way again. But we do have to try broccoli 3 ways before you're allowed to dislike it. You cannot dislike things that you haven't tried. Okay? You cannot. That's not fair.
Don't go call my husband. Go text him all this.
Excuse me, sir.
Gosh. Okay, keep going. I'm loving this.
It's good. It's good stuff. But you're not allowed to dislike things you haven't tried and not given the time of day to try. So we tried broccoli raw. Next time we try it, we try frozen broccoli, fresh, frozen, or canned. Nutritionally, you're getting the same stuff. You can do that. My house, we keep mostly frozen vegetables because I ain't got the time to chop all those things. So, fresh, frozen, or canned nutritionally, all good. So let's say the second time we try broccoli, we try it steamed, frozen, steamed, and we put some nacho cheese sauce on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe some shredded chicken. We do like broccoli nachos, and the kid's like, oh, well, you take 2 bites, 2 reasons why, right? So, kid says, I don't know. Well, I don't like the mushy texture, but I like the taste of the cheese. Okay. Fantastic. So maybe the third time we try it, we try broccoli cheese soup. Or we try roasted with some Parmesan cheese on it. Like we like the cheese flavor, but we got to mess with the texture. Because the texture was the reason why we didn't like it. You can play with that. But you have to take the time to sit down, not let the tantrum happen, make the kid try it. And let's say at the end of the day that you tried broccoli 3 ways and they didn't like it. That's fine. You are now allowed to dislike broccoli. That's okay. You can do that. You can say you dislike broccoli, but you're not allowed to dislike cauliflower yet because we haven't tried it yet, right? Like that's okay. We'll give you that. You tried it. Good job. You did this. Reward. We always positive reinforce, right? You did it. Good job. Now we're on to the next one. Cucumber. Or
nice.
Celery or something like that.
Yeah.
And you can mess with it that way, but that's how we combat pickiness because it breaks down those walls, those aversions to trying new things, those aversions to, well, I have this thing, right? Like, oh, well, I have a sensory issue to this, or, oh, well, I have whatever, and that's why I can't have that. No, you can't let that continue. We got to break that down.
This is gold. This is gold.
For adults too.
Oh my gosh. Yes. No, that's awesome too. So the 2x2 game, right? Is that what you said? Okay, so 2x2. So when do you say, do we try it like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or do we like choose?
That's good. That's
like
good.
a certain time, because I feel like that's a great game for my girl, but I feel like she can also easily be overwhelmed with come like mealtime, knowing like the 2x2 game is gonna be coming up.
And it's like get that away from
me.
I usually recommend just once a week.
Okay,
let's start with once a week. Let's start with once a week. And a lot of times kids get their buy-in, they're all on TikTok and YouTube and whatever. Okay, pick a vegetable, tell me how you want to try it. Maybe I've had kids who they don't like apples. Okay, well, what's 3 ways you can try apples? Oh, well, apple pie. I've seen videos about that. Okay, find the recipe you want. We'll go pick out apples together. You get that buy-in where now they're invested in what they're making.
Yeah, and they're like in
control.
They
want to try it, right? Or strawberries. Well, I've seen like strawberries on yogurt and stuff, or like maybe I'll put some on my ice cream. Yes, go for it. But with the kids that kind of get overwhelmed, and the younger ones can, or like the really, really aversive kids can get really overwhelmed. I recommend just like one time. It's easy to schedule. Say Sunday nights. Sunday nights are a thing. We do, I don't know, grocery shopping Sunday afternoon. Yeah. Kiddo comes with mom to grocery shop. Okay, you have one fruit, one vegetable, whatever it is to pick. Go ahead and pick it. How are we going to prepare it? And then we prepare it that night. And that way that new thing is just funneled to that time, and we have time to get excited about it. Instead of being like smacked in the face with, oh my gosh, new things. That can be a little overwhelming, like you said. So my I would start with like once a week. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is so good. Nice. Okay, Tessa, this is gold. Like, I seriously can't wait to get home and try these new strategies with my girl. Oh my gosh. And now I even feel more prepared now with my second child. Like, okay, because, it's more, now that you're really breaking it down, it's so much more than just like exposing them like their first year and like just thinking like, oh, they're gonna love food, or like they're gonna love all this. And whenever it comes to like that hold, it's like, why? And and we're just only,
did I do something wrong? Am I a bad mom? No, you are not a bad mom. You just made a little human that has their own opinions and stubbornness, and you're not a bad mom.
Thank you so much. Yeah, because the other day we're like, man, like, was it because we were feeding her? Like, we should have just like left her like to explore on her own. And it's so, I'm just exposing myself over here. But she said, yeah, go ahead.
But it's relatable because a lot of parents think that. You're not a bad parent because your kid doesn't like food. But how you respond to that will determine how they respond to things in the future. Show them to overcome. Show them to like face their fears. Show them to, right? And it starts with mom. And that's another thing about pickiness is you got to be willing to try what they're eating too. Yeah. So if you hate vegetables and you're trying to get your kid to be healthier, and okay, eat it with them, right? We're in this together. It's not like parents are supposed to be perfect. You're not supposed to be perfect.
You're so great. I'm so glad you're my friend. So I'm really excited for this next segment. It's gonna be really cool. So let's go ahead and transition to that.
Let's do it.
Nice. So we're back. We're in the kitchen. We're going to be demonstrating some ideal school lunches here for you. School is coming back up again. It's not too far. So we want to give you, the parent, the right idea and some ideas of how we can make school fun. School fun. Of course, school is fun. School lunch is fun. And how easy actually everything could be.
Yeah. Priority is simple. We want to make it not complex. Having kids is already a lot. So let's dumb it down a little bit, and we can do it.
All right. So our first meal is going to be a PB&J sandwich with some good sides that you're about to see. So we have a lovely cutting board right here. So a PB&J sandwich. So we have our whole grains.
Yep.
What we said.
100% whole wheat. Awesome.
Did I get it wrong?
No.
Oh, okay.
We want 100% whole wheat. So sometimes you can always sometimes look at the front. What we're looking for on the back is just something higher in fiber. That fiber is going to be right here. This one has 2 grams. Awesome. Sounds great.
Nice. Okay, so we discussed a shopping list before this episode, and I was trying my best to make sure I got everything I needed.
Let me grab the jelly. I'm so sorry.
All right. So PB&J, as we all know and love.
Okay, so the peanut butter I chose is chunky because I love chunky peanut butter, but it also doesn't have any added sugar. So they did a bunch of research on Americans and discovered that we really like a certain level of sweetness. So there's added sugar in everything. Again, why we need to check the label because this one doesn't have any added sugar in it. Of course, at this point, we've already washed our hands.
Yes.
Food safety first. But our peanut butter counts as our protein for this meal. And kiddos, they don't need a whole lot of protein, so it's okay to have an alternative source of protein. We don't have to have something that's like, I don't know, gains for days. Like you don't need to feed your child that. As long as we have prioritized protein, which we did because we got some peanut butter, we'll make the peanut butter nice and generous on the top. Spread it around. I'm one of those people that I have to have like every edge.
I love that. That's so good.
Anyway, jelly, you can use whatever. I like peach jelly, so I brought mine from home. For peach, a lot of people like grape, a lot of people like whatever. Now jelly, it's kind of hard to get away from the added sugars. You're gonna have a little bit. So I'm gonna go a little lighter on the jelly because we just don't need as much of it. It's gonna be super, super sweet. Alternatively, you can try the sugar-free jellies. They tend to have a bit of a like an aftertaste in some cases.
Aftertaste.
Yep. The sugar-free stuff is gonna have probably a little bit of an aftertaste. If your kid likes it, awesome, cool, go off. If not, you can do like a half and half, or you can just go really light, which is why I did really light on that. And we'll complete it. Yay!
Nice. All right. So we got our PB&J going.
Yes.
So our first side, what do you suggest?
So whenever we're making food, again, the food groups, we got our protein, okay? We got our whole grain, check those things off. We do need a fruit and a vegetable. Okay. So I brought some strawberries. We can do fresh strawberries for this one, just in a little container. I don't like them getting squished, so I usually do like an actual container for strawberries. So we can do some strawberries with our peanut butter jelly. There we go. And then we're going to prioritize the veggie. And we do have baby carrots. I think that's the only veggie we have for today. But we've got some whole pack. You can get the little baggies. You can get another little container. We brought some other little containers here.
Let's open it up real quick.
Let's do it.
Figure out this serving size.
We can put it in this little guy here. Yeah. And remember, this is a really good depiction actually of one serving is about half of a cup. So it's what can fit in your hands. This is probably ever so slightly above half a cup. That's actually probably perfect.
Okay.
About half of a cup, you've just got one serving of veggies in. Plus baby carrots are really yummy. They're really sweet. You can dip them in. I think we had some ranch somewhere. If you have any dipping sauce, you can do ranch. You can do, I don't know, mayo, sour cream, whatever you want. I don't mind. If you want to do dips, that's fine. That's great. If your kid's eating veggies, it's a win in my book. Go for it. Put them in whatever you want to. And then for a little sweet treat dessert thing on this one, maybe we can do like a little granola bar. I think I have a little granola bar maybe for a snack later in the day. By all means, you don't have to buy like something like this brand or whatever, but it does have protein in it. And you can check on the nutrition facts in the back. There is going to be some protein. It's about 7 grams of protein in this. If you need any extra things, we can do like a cheese stick or something. Maybe they're getting snack early in the day or later in the day. But we've got our protein, we've got our vegetable, we've got our fruit, we've got our whole grains, dairy. They might get a milk at school, something like that.
Nice.
This is a pretty complete meal.
So quick question. Looking at this is awesome. This looks great. So this is my daughter's lunchbox.
Yeah. Should we make it fit?
It's going to fit in that screen.
There we go.
There you go. So this is my daughter's lunchbox. So, like one of those like bento boxes.
Yeah.
So,
love.
Yeah, I see because you packed it here and then you packed it here. What do you think about these serving sizes?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, how old's your daughter?
She is 4.
So this would be an appropriate serving size for a 4-year-old. Now, if you're serving somebody who's 12, you're probably going to need something a little bit bigger. You might need to double up on the sandwich or add some other things in. You can always fluctuate the serving sizes. Anytime we're adding protein and vegetables, it's a win. What we don't want to do is add a lot of the starchy snackies. Oh, an extra bag of chips. Oh, I don't know, Takis. Oh, Cheetos. Oh, goldfish crackers. Oh, another granola bar that doesn't have any protein in it. We don't want to stack up on those starchy, munchy, crunchy snacks because we tend to overeat those. They don't have any protein in them. They're very refined grains. So it's okay every once in a while. 1 or 2 of them is perfectly okay. Don't get me wrong, but we don't want to stack like, oh, well, they're still going to be hungry. Let's just give them a bunch of other chips.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't want to do that. We want to prioritize those proteins, as veggies, whole grains when we can.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Noted. I remember when I
Very
first
good.
saw this, I said, what? Like
That's so small.
It was. And it's funny.
But it's an appropriate serving size for her. I mean, she's not very big. She's not going to eat very much.
Yes. Yes. Okay. I love this. This is awesome. So
Easy.
let's move
Super
on to our next.
Okay.
2, 3. All right. So that was a great PB&J sandwich.
Yum.
I know Grayson's loving it over there. So number 2, our second meal. Let's do a homemade Lunchable.
Homemade Lunchable.
Yes.
Whatever you say about Lunchables, I love them. A charcuterie board is basically an adult Lunchable anyway. So let's feed them to our kids, right?
Yes.
So again, our priority is protein. We have some pepperonis here today. You want to open them up?
Yes.
The pizza Lunchable is a hit. I have a lot of patients who love the pizza Lunchable.
My daughter, when we went grocery shopping, she literally picked the pizza Lunchable for today.
Let's go. Let's go. I love it.
Nice.
Pepperoni is still a protein. We'll still take it. So we've got our pepperoni, which is basically like salami, but you know, a different package, whatever. The other part of Lunchable, we need our crackers. So we've got some whole grain crackers. These are like the off-brand Ritz crackers. So we can do that.
Nice.
We'll pull out a couple here. Put them in a baggie. You can put them in a little container. Whatever you got to do, that's okay. So we've got a couple of our whole grain crackers. They look really yummy. And then the third thing is cheese, right? Cheese is our dairy. I do only have string cheese, so you can open it and cut it if you want, like for the string cheese. For the sake of the display, I'll just do it. Just make it a little fancy.
Nice.
A little bit fancy for us. So we'll just slice the cheese stick into little chunks because kids love eating chunks of foods. We can make it. This is like a hands-on fun. So if it is like a sensory kid, like the kid enjoys sensory things, oh my gosh, this is perfect. You literally get to eat it with your hands. What a great way to get good nutrition if we're dealing with those kind of issues. So we've got our mozzarella cheese, we've got our little pepperonis, and we've got our little cracker. Put one together. Oh, so cute.
Love it.
Look at that. So we've got our dairy. We'll do 3. That looks weird. It's like it's smiling at me. We've got our dairy, we've got our protein, we've got our whole grains. Now we just need to do a fruit. So our fruit this time, I grabbed a little applesauce pouch. This one I think is like actually apple, strawberry, and banana flavored. That one's my favorite, which is why I had it. But you can do any applesauce packet. That's perfectly okay. So we've got our fruit, and we're going to keep the same veggie because I think it's the only veggie we have. We've got our little carrots. You can also do cauliflower dipped in ranch. You can do broccoli dipped in ranch. Cucumber. Everybody loves cucumber. Avocado still counts as a vegetable. It's very low in carbohydrate, very high in fiber. It's a good fat. So you can do some avocado. We can maybe spread some avocado on here. And then maybe we're looking for another little snack for later in the day, or we need something else to fill this meal with. I have a little protein bar. This is one of many. Same rules apply. We're checking the nutrition facts label on the back. We're looking for the one higher in protein, lower in added sugar. And I will say, I think you had mentioned it earlier, saturated fat, they tend to have to fill something. Like, I mean, it's not like you can just give food that doesn't have anything in it. Like that's not a thing. Yeah. So they tend to fill these with saturated fat. So I would double check like the fat content in the saturated fat when it comes to protein bars. They tend to be a little bit high. Just make the best educated choice for your family, for your kids. That's appropriate to the budget. That's all I can say. So we filled it with a little protein bar for later in the day. And then we can do some trail mix, a little prepackaged trail mix. This one's an omega-3 deluxe mix. Again, branding. This looks real nice and fancy. It's all branding. The actual ingredient that it has in it is walnuts. Walnuts are high in omega-3. Same with pumpkin seeds. And it's got some craisins and some almonds and stuff like that. Perfectly great. Any type of trail mix will really work. My personal favorite is the one with the peanuts and the M&Ms because I love the M&Ms. Incentivizes me to eat the peanuts. Yeah. But this one's fine too. Really any trail mix. Anytime we're choosing a protein over like a snacky snack, right? Yeah. So this isn't chips. This isn't Takis. This isn't hot Cheetos. This isn't Goldfish. This isn't a candy bar. This isn't like a Rice Krispie bar. Nothing against those things. You can absolutely add those things in. We just don't want to fill the extra space with the things that don't give us good nutrition. I want to prioritize my body. I want to prioritize my child's health, right? And so that's why these ones are good. Yeah, pack this away.
This is perfect because this is not only like for the parent on the go, but it's like so easy for like grandma, grandpa, and uncle, literally anyone who's like, oh, you know, if we have to pack a child's lunch that I'm not used to, just an easy go-to with crackers, pepperoni, cheese, and like all this. That's so awesome.
Fantastic. And we got plenty of protein here. Or honestly, like if you're one of those moms that you're like, okay, I need 5 meals this week. I need 5 things that I can just buy and go.
Yeah.
You can just get the regular brand Lunchables. Like that's perfectly okay. Like that's perfectly okay. This one has an Oreo cookie in it. That's okay. It's perfectly okay. We're still going to get the meat, the cheese, the cracker. Again, you can add the protein bar to it. You can add something else with protein in it. We've got our fruit. We've got our veggie. We're still making it work. So you do not have to buy anything fancy by any means.
I love that. You're really bringing reality down and how, you know, we don't need to be this fancy, like we don't have to make these fancy gourmet meals.
No, you don't.
This brings so much ease, and I'm sure it's been bringing a lot of these to our parents this upcoming school year.
Yeah.
So alrighty, so that was meal number 2. Woo! And now on to meal number 3.
Yes.
1, 2, 3. All right, last meal for today. Super easy, the classic, I would like to say, just a regular good sandwich. So let's jump into that.
So good. Okay. So again, same thing. We're using the whole wheat bread. We got our whole grains. Meat. I love this. You actually bought this, but it's like, you can seal it. You can seal it. That way it doesn't go bad. Love it. This one's actually turkey, but we've got some ham as well. We need our veggies. So we've got some tomatoes, some lettuce, which we'll get to cooking this in a little bit, but we want our sandwich to be a little bit spicy. I was going to do like a homemade chipotle mayo, but girl, I ain't got time for that. So I bought one.
Committed.
I was about to, but at-home sauces are super easy. You can mash up an avocado, throw some sour cream, throw some whatever. At-home sauces, if you do want to take like a next level and be a little bit fancy, you can absolutely make your own sauce. And I'm of the opinion the sauce makes or breaks the sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Like obviously.
Definitely.
So we've got some chipotle mayo because we like a little spicy up in here.
Love it.
We are going to start with the mayo because in my opinion, it's easier to get everything to stick down.
Yeah. I love how generous you are with that mayo.
Girl, yes, absolutely. I do not
That's
shy
how I know
away
your
from
sandwiches
some
hit,
mayo.
though.
You what?
That's how I know your sandwiches hit with the peanut butter and
hit.
then John said, slap it on.
Slap it on. We're generous. We've got mayo to give.
Love this.
So we're having fun. It's food. Okay. So we've got our mayo on our sandwich, nice and even. Let's throw some meat on there first. And then we'll hit it with some cheese. You can always check the nutrition facts with how much meat is 1 serving size or how much protein you want your kids to get.
Let's see what this one says.
Yeah.
Serving size is 3 slices.
Okay. How much protein per that?
10 grams.
Oh, awesome. Love.
Nice.
Super good. So we'll be generous. We'll put maybe 4 on here. Got it nice and even covered. So we did 4, so we're getting what, like 13 grams-ish of protein.
Grayson, you're about to have a great sandwich over here.
Yep.
I know, I'm like, man,
it's gonna be fire.
she's doing that.
It's about to be real good. We'll do some cheese up here.
Nice.
Oh, you got the sliced Gouda. Love Gouda.
My husband picked that out. He
Smart
said,
man.
I don't want American cheese. I said, okay. Just put one.
Just put some. Okay, I double cheese it.
Okay,
I double cheese
so
it.
Does cheese have a serving size or?
Let's check. So 12 servings per container, 1 slice, 5 grams of protein per slice.
Okay.
So we already had 13. We're adding another 5 to that, but we're gonna add a 10 to it because what's wrong with cheese? Nothing is wrong with cheese. More cheese makes the world go around. I love cheese. So I double up my cheese. You certainly don't have to. Let's do the tomatoes first.
Okay.
Because then the lettuce can set on top of that.
Noted.
So tomatoes, super easy to cut. We washed our hands. We washed the tomatoes. I'm going to get the little core out carefully. Just going to cut around it. Knife safety.
Yes.
Hopefully no chefs are watching this. You're probably going to super judge me. Okay. I'm just going to nice and slice it.
Nice.
I'm going to slice it real good here. We got 3 little slices. I also like a lot of tomato on mine, and I like every part of the sandwich to be covered. So
I am not questioning your sandwich ability.
Super good. This is a great dinner too. You can take something like this to the next level just by getting a panini press and doing hot sandwiches. Next level for dinner. Absolutely next level. And then we got some lettuce. It's already been pre-washed since it's been packaged. I'm okay not like washing it, although I'm pretty sure if you ask like a chef or somebody who's good at food safety, they'd still say to wash it. But for the sake of today, we're just not going to wash it.
So a question, because this is also I heard. What did I get? Green leaf lettuce compared to iceberg lettuce.
Sure.
Green leaf has more nutrition than iceberg.
So you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Something a little bit darker on the green side. By rule of thumb, anything a little bit darker green is going to be higher in vitamins and minerals and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I have nothing wrong with iceberg lettuce. In fact, it's a great gateway vegetable.
Okay.
Because if you have a taco, like even the pickiest kids, you're going to put lettuce on the taco, right?
Yeah.
Or if you have like some sort of Chipotle bowl, you're probably going to put lettuce on the Chipotle bowl. So it's a really good introductory vegetable. Like iceberg has its place. Absolutely. We cannot discount iceberg.
I like that.
But typically the darker the green, the more vitamins and minerals, the more like
darker the green.
Yeah. And by no means like, oh, this piece of lettuce is light. Throw it away. No, like it's okay, but like your kale, your spinach, they're going to be a little bit higher in vitamins and minerals than something like your iceberg will. But there's a place for all of it. If we're eating veggies, we're doing something good.
Nice.
We're winning.
Perfect.
Okay, kids like triangles, so we'll cut it nice and triangle-y.
Look at that.
Look at how beautiful.
Oh my gosh, Subway who?
Yum. Right? Subway came here today.
I love that.
Okay.
He couldn't resist, everyone.
All right, ready?
Good. Okay. We
10
got the
out of
approval.
10.
We got the approval. Woo!
10 out of 10.
Wow, holy mayo.
Right? Like you spice it up. Like sandwiches, if you get bored of it, just spice it with a little something. Something.
I love that.
That works. So on the side of this sandwich, we already got a lot of protein. So I'm really good on protein. This would be a great place where you could actually do, I don't think we have any, but like some of the chips. Like I'm okay with adding some Lay's or some Doritos to this. We don't have to prioritize the protein. This sandwich is packed in protein.
Okay.
So you can do something a little bit more snacky. That's perfectly okay. We do have some little cutie oranges to put on the side of these if you want a little something sweet. Sounds great. Oh, and then for dessert, I did bring dark cocoa dipped almonds. It says 100 calorie pack. We don't need to worry about the 100 calories. I don't really care about that. But it's almonds dipped in chocolate. So it's incentivizing eating our yummy almonds. So maybe that's like the side that we can go with this one.
Oh, this is ideal. I love it. Look at that. Who can say no to that?
Nobody.
All right, so we got
Grayson.
Love it. So we got our PB&J.
We did.
We got our homemade Lunchable.
Yep.
And then we got our beautiful spicy sandwich along with fruits, vegetables, protein, whole grains, everything in between.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think one thing to be said also is the drink. Because a lot of times parents will pack a drink for their kid. Yeah. And Lunchables do come with like an option for Capri Sun. Yeah. We just don't want all of that sugar. That's a lot of added sugar. I do have a little drink here. You don't have to buy this by any means, but this is like a soda, but it's sugar-free and it's light. It's not dark. So it's just like, it's sweetened lime. So it'll still taste sweet. But if you look at the nutrition facts, you can fact check me. There's 0 added sugars.
0. Let's zoom into that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go. So it's still 0 added sugars. Something like this would be good. Or if we wanted to, these Crystal Light packets are amazing. I don't know if you can see that as well. Water bottle, you just throw one in there or whatever container of water you have and throw a lemonade Crystal Light packet in. I think it says only 10 calories, which probably means it's very low in added sugar as well. And Crystal Light lemonade is fire. It's so good.
All right. So this was fun. I don't know who can say no to any of these meals. I want to eat them all, but Grayson already did. No, just kidding. So real quick before we go, snacks, because you know snack time is at school, whether it's elementary or even in high school, from sneaking in snacks in our backpacks. What do you suggest?
Okay, so again, before we even talk about the food, we never use food as a reward. We never want to reward kids with food. And this is a lot of times like schools will like, oh, you did so great, here, have a pizza party. We never want to use food as a reward because it reinforces this idea of like, oh, happy feelings come from food, and then down the line it can cause overeating.
Wow.
So never use food as a reward. If this is just an appropriate snack time, we have to send something with kiddo. We've got a couple options. Of course, anything that we already displayed. I also have some beef jerky. Beef jerky is fun. We like beef jerky and very low in sugar. Again, it's protein. All of it's protein. Always good stuff. I do have a little pack of pistachios as well. These are fantastic. Again, any type of nut or seed is going to be higher in protein than not. Plus, these ones are a really fun sensory thing because you get to peel them apart. So we're still prioritizing the protein, whole grains, anything like that. So this is a prepackaged little breakfast protein bar. It's almond butter flavored, so it's super yummy. We already had the cheese stick. We can throw that in the mix. We already had the fruit. But when we were talking about protein shakes, these are a couple of my favorite brands. By all means, try them. Get your own if you want. This is a Chobani one. It's really high in probiotics. So there's actually 6 active cultures. When we're choosing probiotics, we just want the most cultures. So if something's got 3 cultures in it versus 6 cultures in it, go with the one with 6 cultures because that bacteria will proliferate in your gut anyway. It's strawberry flavored, 20 grams of protein, super yummy. This is another kind of protein shake. This one's another one. We like all the protein. This one's like chocolate milk. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
So question. Yeah. With the protein shakes, do we have to worry about sugar?
You can, absolutely. Flip to the back. Check how much added sugar. Now, you're not going to get away from total sugar typically in these kind of things, especially something that's milk-based. Total sugar will be there. I think there's 12 grams of total sugar in this guy, but 0 grams of added sugar. Includes 0 grams of added sugars. Yeah. But it still has 20 grams of protein. So this is still like a really good choice. Something that and plus probiotics. I mean, hello. Yeah. Yes, please. And then we do have some peanuts as well.
Nice. I love these snack options.
Good snacks.
Definitely. Perfect. So, okay. So we've covered the whole scale from like breakfast. We talked about breakfast, lunch. We gave a lot of great ideas, and then snack time for our kids, and then for everything on as well.
Think out for adult snacks too.
Yeah, no, for sure.
These are the snacks I eat at home. So what you were seeing on display are things that I eat.
So these are dietitian approved.
Hey.
So awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tessa, for taking time out of your day and for joining us here. Thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't already, subscribed to our YouTube channel. These videos are going to be coming in. I'm so excited to be doing this for the rest of the year. If you have any ideas, or if you have any questions for Tessa regarding anything nutrition, leave them below. Message us anything, and we can bring her back and get those questions answered for you.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer anything.
Perfect. Bye, guys.
Thank you.